am a girl's girl through and through, and I have been looking for a best friend for like the past.
Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about male said that friends are not good friends to have. So I'll put the videos together so that you watch and learn. I'll be back to share my truth.
I am a girl's girl through and through, and I have been looking for a best friend for like the past.
Okay, I don't know who this young lady is, but I had a chance to watch your entire video and you seem like the sweetest girl ever, honestly, and you're so pretty. However, I gotta be honest with you, okay? This might hurt, but it's gonna help you. The reason why it's hard for you to find friends, like female friends, as well as sustain those friendships is because a lot of women are male identified. Yep, I said it. And you're going to notice this as you get older. When those friends that you have get into a relationship, or if a man starts giving them attention, pay very close attention to that. Because sometimes what happens is that their personality, their entire existence and livelihood is going to be centered around that very man. And when that happens, you go from being a friend to a placeholder very quickly. I couldn't snap my finger. That was really awkward. But anyways, you go from being a friend to a placeholder. And when you're a placeholder, that girl is only going to come to you and she's only going to want to see you and hang out with you whenever there is drama, toxicity, and turmoil currently occurring in that relationship. You will be a therapist. You will be the comforter. And it's going to happen repetitively. And if you find that it's happening on a repetitive basis, you need to take a step back and really analyze and assess where your friendship stands. And it's sad because I've had to do this with a few girlfriends, and it hurts knowing that you were only there just to be the therapist, nothing more, just I need you because my man and I are having issues. I don't know what to do. I can't find solutions, blah, 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 blah. And it becomes so repetitive to the point where it's really going to start to mess with you emotionally and you're going to feel exhausted and depleted. And when that happens, like I said, that's where you need to assess where your friendship stands. And something I've noticed about male identified women who constantly feel the need to hyperfixate themselves around the concept of marriage, the concept of being with a man, or just men, period. I find that when they center those men, they have no time and they don't have the capacity to be able to center themselves. And what happens is that when they center those men, their lives are chaotic. It is filled with drama. It is just traumatic, and it's always resulting in turmoil. Like there's no middle ground and there's no peace. And mind you, I'm coming from a very observational perspective, and I'm also coming to you from experience. Women who center men, they don't know how to center themselves. Whereas women who do center themselves and remove themselves from the outcome of marriage, being a mom, and focus on other outlets where they can prioritize themselves, those women are so at peace. They are so at peace. They are able to find other outlets where they can not only center themselves, but also find opportunities to connect with other women who are also decentering men. And that's where you need to start vetting. Okay. I know there's a lot of advice on social media that talks about, oh, well, you got to vet this man. You got to ask him these questions, whoop de whoop, blah, 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 blah. But what's missing is that you also need to apply that same vetting energy into your friendships. And in moments like this, I become very grateful because I have a couple of girlfriends who have completely decentered men. And I got to tell you, nothing feels more liberating and peaceful than being able to hang out with your girlfriend, sit down and talk about things that do not involve what a man did, what a man said, and just putting him on a pedestal to the point where that's all that you can talk about. We talk about goals, we talk about hobbies, we talk about where we want to see ourselves and things that we've undergone and the lessons that we've learned. And we can just go out and say, you know what, let's do this, or let's try something new, right? It just feels so good to have that. And I find that as a woman, when you center yourself, okay, that's when men want you. I mean, the real ones, you know what I'm saying? That's when they really want you, because they're like, oh snap, she's not putting me on a pedestal. She ain't chasing me around. She ain't acting all crazy, hoop-de-hoop-ha. She's got some good things going for herself. Like, let me chase her, you know? Because that's what they're supposed to do. Men are hunters by nature, okay? So baby girl, I've been in your shoes, and just know that it gets better, but there needs to be awareness, and there also needs to be a vetting process, okay? Because like I said, you always vet the men, but you don't vet the homegirls that you just met, right? So just kind of sit back, ask questions, and just kind of get an understanding of who these women are before you fully give yourself to the idea of a friendship, okay? And the good news is that just from what I'm seeing on social media and just from conversations that I've had with other women, women are also waking up and have realized that, look, me centering myself around this guy, me trying to find a husband, like, I need to just step the hell back and just focus on myself. And then that's when everything's going to fall into place. And that is something, girl, that I think you need to do. Take a step back and it'll all fall into place. Center yourself and let things happen organically. Okay.
Women who are extremely male-centered are never, have never, and will never be loyal real.
This one time in college, I was at a house party with my coworkers slash friends, and she was in like the process of dating this guy, who also was at the house party with his cousins and friends, and I was completely drunk, didn't remember anything, like blackout drunk, and the guy's cousin allegedly tried to have sex with me, and I walked downstairs like crying, and it was like this whole ordeal. And the next day when I woke up and I felt like, oh, something down there, I was like, because after you sleep with someone, you can feel like, but I didn't have any like recollection of this. So I was like, what's going on? And I went to my friend and I was like, hey, like, what happened? And she told me that's how I knew, like, I came downstairs crying. But after that, like, she was just like, I don't want to be involved with this. I'm not dealing with this. And even when I was like asking her for like his number so that I could reach out to him and see like what happened? Like, why was I crying? Like, what did we do? And she refused to give me his number. She was just like, I'm not getting involved with this because I'm not messing up my chances with the guy. And I was so like completely shocked that she just so brazenly said that to me, because I was like, oh, I thought we were friends, we work together, we hang out all the time. And yeah, I had to take myself to the hospital to get myself checked out. Like, I didn't take anyone with me because like I felt embarrassed and ashamed. Man, like, just really, really disgusting. Like, I felt bad. I felt like I ruined our friendship for drinking, and kind of, I guess, putting her in a compromising position with her boyfriend at the time or whatever. I felt really, really bad about that. Like, I took that so personally. And like a year after that happened, like we were still working together. I wasn't going out with him as much, but we were still working together. And she said to me, you're not going to make me feel bad about this. Like, sorry about what happened to you, but I'm not going to feel like shit about it anymore. And I was just like, wow, okay, well, thanks for letting me know a second time. but whatever. And yeah, um, that's all that to say. People who are very um, male centric and very, very um, desperate for those relationships and those partnerships and things like that, they will quite literally not give a second thought about you and your.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. Okay, male say that women are not good friends to have. So let me tell you something about lately, and maybe you've been experiencing this too. How different friendship feels between men and women, especially when you're a guy. We always hear about how men and women can be just friends, but in my experience, that rarely works out in the long run. It's because there are always romantic tension through sometimes there is, but because women and men just approach friendship from such fundamentally different places. Let's be real. Most women are not equipped to be good friends to men because they often don't understand or value what male friendship actually looks like. Male friendships are built on loyalty, shared struggle, mutual respect, and big kinds of emotional simplicity. We don't need constantly talking about feelings or analyze every detail to feel close. We bond over experience, over trust built in silence. With women, friendship often feels like a performance, especially if you're not serving a purpose in their life anymore. And that's a problem. See, women often best friend men not because they genuinely want to get to know us, but because um they're gaining something, emotional validation, attention, free advice, or just someone to dump their problems on. And once that benefit drains up, so does a friendship. Is like this. Support has a limit, and expiring date always. Okay. So meanwhile, men are here thinking it's a mutual connection that they have, got each other's backs, only to find out they're just placeholders for their emotional needs. Ever notice how when a guy is going through something serious, like a breakup, depression, losing a job, his so-called best friends suddenly go ghost. They don't check in, they don't follow up, they're not there when you're down bad, but flip it. And if he's heartbroken or overwhelmed with life, they expect you to drop everything and listen. And they do it because they are wired to be providers, protectors, problem solvers. But friendship is not supposed to be a one-way street. It can even get deeper when you think about how women often don't see men as human beings with emotion, unless those emotions benefit them. You can be vulnerable with a male friend and lose his respect. But trying opening up to a female friend about your insecurities, doubt, and suddenly you're not strong anymore, you're not the vision of you she liked. That's not real friendship. That's a connection based on performance. Let's talk about competition too. A lot of women compete with men in subtitle ways, especially if they're not romantically involved with you. If you get a promotion, if you're doing well financially, if you're in a shape or suddenly get attention, they start to act weird. Jealous even. A true friend would celebrate you, but female friends, they might minimize your wins or throw shade disguised as jokes. It's passive aggressive. Over time, it's built resentment. I've also noticed that many women just don't know how to hold space for a man unless they want something from him. They tell you they care, but when your world is falling apart, they'll hit you with, "Sorry, I've been so busy." Meanwhile, your guy friend who barely speaks in full sentence will be at your door with a bear and the hug. That's the difference. Women want to be emotional, but they often lack emotional accountability. They want you to be open, but don't know what to do when you're actually there. There's also the issue of boundaries. A lot of men struggle in female friendship because those boundaries get blared constantly. She wants emotional support, but if you give too much, she says you're too available. You create space and she says you're distant. You show interest in her life and she accuses you of having hidden motives. No matter what you do, you are walking in a tightrope. That's not friendship, that's emotional labor dressed up as a connection. And let's not forget the way some women weaponize friendship. They know you care, they know you're a good person, and they use that to their advantage. Needing help moving, you're the first call, need a ride to the airport. You got her need to wait about the guy she's dating who treats her like trash. You're the therapist, but once you're back on her feet, proof you're back on the shelf until the next emergency. And to accept it because you have been conditioned to think that what being a good guy looks like. Now, don't get me wrong, the expectations that women out there who know how to be true friends, who show up, who listen, who give without expecting something in return, but the minority usually don't realize how rare they are until you've been banned a few times. Male friendship is rare and beautiful, and I'm telling you, you don't need a female friend to feel emotionally fulfilled. In fact, for a lot of men, those friendships do more harm than good. It might sound harsh, but it's the truth. And I think a lot of guys feel but don't say it's because they don't want to be labeled bitter or another things. But recognizing pattern in life and setting boundaries is not hate, it's growth, it's choosing peace. A friendship is not reciprocal. If it drains you, then it fills you. If you're constantly confused about where you stand, that's not friendship worthy. Keep no matter how good she looks or have you. Okay, men protect peace. Find brothers you can build with. Focus on relationship where you are valued, not used. Don't let guilt or pressure make you stay in friendship that emotionally manipulative or one-sided. You deserve grounded, mature friendship, and sadly, most women just are not equipped to give that to you. Okay, so let me know if you want a female Roberto vision or to make this more another thing that you need to do. So a lot of women they're in male friendships and they're not able to handle it. Okay, so that's the video for today, guys. I don't know what you think about today's video. Kindly leave some comments so that we discuss in the comment section. So guys, until next time, bye bye.